There will always be people who commit crime, but not everyone can get away with it. These criminals not only outsmarted the law, but they did it in style. Like this prisoner who channeled his spidey senses to parkour out of jail. And let's be honest, that's pretty impressive. But what's not as impressive is whoever designed the prison. Imagine all Michael Scofield had to do was climb upwards to escape, or just master the art of faking an injury. Footballers can do it to fool refs, so what's stopping convicts doing it to trick the police? He had the whole hospital hoaxed. No neck brace was gonna stop his legs. And judging by the way he moves, he could have been a marathon runner if things were any different. If never let them know your next move was a person, it would definitely be this guy. With the agility and unpredictability of an NFL running back, he makes the cops look out of his league. I guess this proves that the Tom and Jerry technique works in real life too. The police force often see their job as taking the trash off the streets, but this kid flipped that on them completely. Being the master of hide-and-seek paid off big time, and luckily the officer counted longer than 10 before searching. You can run, but hiding isn't a rubbish idea either, just like this guy found out. When trying to escape the entire SWAT team, you'd think he was doomed either way. But not when you had sneak level 100. Turns out using cartoon logic in real-world situations can actually work. All he had to do was disguise himself as a coat hanger. Look, perfect camouflage.
Yeah, boy.
When you need to lose your wanted level in GTA fast, this is the way to do it. When pursuing a suspect, cops definitely don't get paid enough to go base jumping. That target is gone with the wind. You really can't afford to take your eyes off criminals like these. He was not waiting around. When you give some people a window of opportunity like that, they'll leap through without hesitation. And something tells me they won't hesitate in firing the guy in charge of holding him too. But there's nothing like a bird's eye view to see the incompetence of others. Hiding in plain sight never worked as well. They say the thing you lost is usually in the most obvious place. Well, that doesn't mean we always look there. Whilst others are thinking outside the box, the smart ones hide in it. Imaginative people use their talent in various ways, whether it's writing, painting, music, or the master of being hidden. What other reason would you carry around a giant slinky than evading the police? If you can use your initiative as well as this crook, then maybe the law might give you a pass for creative expression. Even when all exits look sealed off, opportunism is always one jump to freedom. It definitely helps if you leave the gate open for the other prisoner too. That's one way to multiply your problems. One escapee is fun, but two is a party. Even the cleaning lady had to tidy up the situation. Blink and you'll miss it. This prisoner decided he no longer needed a lift and went by foot instead. The smartest criminals adapt to their surroundings, and he figured on such a bumpy road, who'd notice if he hopped out? And those there to witness just decided they saw nothing. We've all watched YouTube videos about how to get out of handcuffs. And by the looks of it, this lady definitely did her research. Police didn't know they were dealing with Catwoman. She had flexibility and IQ to get herself out in style.
God dang. Hey.
What kind of thief robs an ATM in front of a crowd of witnesses? Maybe one disguised as a repairman. Everyone just sees a man doing his job, but the actual job was robbing them blind. Can he fix it? Yes, he can. Well, sort of. Now all he needs to do is investigate the robbery in his police disguise. You can find get-rich-quick schemes everywhere, but 90K in 30 seconds definitely takes the cake. These thieves were able to hack their way into a Tesla by unlocking its doors. Way to give a car major trust issues. Elon Musk may have designed one of the hardest cars to steal, but he was no match for these smooth criminals. I've heard of a hit and run, but this is more of a grab and go kind of situation. He may have been the smallest guy in class, but he measured up perfectly for this to happen. So there's a way you can actually win the fluffy toys of your dreams by cheating, claiming not just coins, but the morale of many. Some criminals use stealth and subtlety to get what they want. Others go in heavy. Sure, bank stick-ups and complex hacking can work, but he went down an alternative route, the old-fashioned smash and grab. You can't argue with that. This is the closest thing we get to blockbuster film-style heists. But if you don't want to create a scene, this is the way to do it. He heard that slow and steady wins the race. Well, apparently that logic works for jewelry theft too. Why run when you can just walk away? He basically deactivated her fight or flight. Stealing a $16,000 ring never looked more simple. And how was she to know that that guy asking to see it under natural light was actually a member of the dark side? CCTV cameras are the bane of any thief's existence, but some know it's all about angles. Having the world's slimmest television comes with a cost, and this smart thief took full advantage. Life's good, except when your TVs keep disappearing. Escaping locked rooms by crawling through vents in the ceiling only happens in movies. Yeah, hold on to that. Not everyone who wears sport jerseys can move with athletic precision, but he combined both physical and brain power to get himself out. Is that an admission of guilt? Or just a more extreme version of, I won't talk without my lawyer? These two inmates proved the old saying very true. One man's trash is another man's ticket to freedom. It may be even more difficult to wash off that prison stink, but they won't care, because the best getaways aren't always the cleanest. You know you've made it in the criminal underworld when you've got a street name. The snake burglar knows a thing or two about motion trigger alarms. They say if you want truffles, you gotta get in the dirt with the pigs. And if you want $8,000 in cash, crawling on the ground like a snake gets you the money. When making a plan, it's important not just to think outside the box, but outside the flock. These two sheep rustlers had a method that was foolproof and wool-proof. I've seen Tom Cruise run on moving train roofs, but can he do this? Having kids is expensive, so this dad thought of a cunning way to cut down on costs a little. I guess that's one way to train the next thieving prodigy. Nothing like using your own child to help hide a stolen laptop. Bet everyone has different family traditions, so who am I to judge? Just like when I let my dog off the lead. This suspect didn't think twice before making a break for it. Before his guilt was decided in court, he already decided he'd be marked absent at the trial. They say you can't outrun justice, but with speed to burn like that, he makes a pretty good case for being able to. When the ex-construction guys hitched a plan to escape prison, they made it look too easy. Whilst others were rioting, these guys saw the chaos as a ladder and took full advantage. All they needed to do was to follow some simple steps to freedom. This lady didn't even need a kid for her master plan. Her outfit of choice was enough to get her a new TV. She dressed to impress. But in this case, impressing every criminal that's ever tried to steal from a store. Security guards can't compete with this level of trickery. Smartphones are way too distracting, and this thieving trio banked on that big time. Just by asking the shop owner to test the camera, their heist was set up perfectly. Let's just say it's a good thing he didn't turn the camera on selfie mode. Crawl to avoid the motion sensor alarms? Check. Get the money and escape smoothly? Check. Cover your face so you don't reveal your identity to the whole world? Check. These guys had it all figured out. And while his buddy was getting to the $1 million stash, his partner in crime made sure to stock up on some medicine. Saves having to book a doctor's appointment. You know what they say? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So while her friends were mastering small talk, their accomplice took all she could carry. That shop attendant may be able to multitask, but she doesn't have 3 eyes for each person, and she paid the price. And talk about great teams of 3. Here's the perfect balance, with the wife on watch, the husband on stealing duty, and then a cute kid to make everything seem innocent. In a hospital of patients, they have the sickest moves. And you know when those medical bills come through? Desperate times call for desperate measures. If security cameras didn't exist, these people would strip shops bare every day. Masterminds come in many forms, and the ability to make robbing your local store look like a casual routine is an example of that. Every supervillain has their special move. Check out that cough. Being a successful criminal is about knowing your audience as much as anything else. College girls and casual buyers definitely aren't going to be more than bystanders to a crime. They came in hot and left with enough Apple products to burn a hole in their pockets. There's no doubt criminals can have very high IQs, but let's be real, it's always best to use that ability to do more positive things, such as hitting that like and subscribe button right now.